guests. Let me welcome you once again to the CERC Institute of the Czech Technical University. My name is Kristek, and I'm representing the National Center of Industry 4.0, where I work as an Industry 4.0 expert/consultant. The topic of my presentation today will be the digital and AI maturity assessment. Basically, what do we understand by going digital? Why should you assess your digital level? How can we help you to do such an assessment, and what are the benefits you can gain based on it? In the second part, I will shortly introduce our journey so far, because we are dealing with such topics since 2000 and 2018, as well as the achievements we accomplished so far. So let's start with some basic definitions, meaning what is digital enterprise? What does digital enterprise mean for us? The basic term we should explain is the digitalization of the enterprise. So digitalization itself means transferring of data and processes to the computer system to be able to gain additional benefits using either advanced analytics or AI algorithms. When we are talking about Industry 4.0, it's the production which is closely tied to the IT world. And the Industry 4.0 as such is enabled by the Industry 4.0 technologies, which are the ones you can see on the left part of my slide, which are basically the ones which are being sold to you by our technical suppliers. These technologies could be clustered into four major groups. It's the connectivity, it's the analytics and advanced intelligence, human-machine interaction, and advanced engineering. So, to sum it up, the digitalization means going from the analog processes and data storage to digital ones. Industry 4.0 is the production which is closely tied to the IT world, meaning you need to go digital first to enable the Industry 4.0 based production, and the technologies tied to the Industry 4.0 are the ones you can subsequently implement or apply in your manufacturing workflow. Why going digital? I mean, I can see some of you which are visiting our presentations pretty often, so you will already know the slides. Why going digital? Digital proven itself to be helpful during the COVID-19 crisis, during the pandemic. The 65% of the companies say that digitalization has proven itself. It showed itself it's more valuable than the old analog processes, so to speak. The companies which were already operating using some of the basic concepts of the Industry 4.0 were able to respond to the crisis in 96% of the cases. In the Czech Republic, we've got similar numbers or similar trends. The numbers are a bit lower. 58% of the Czech companies were able to better manage the crisis thanks to the digitalization. And as a consequence, 59% of them will invest more. Why going digital again? Now some bad news. The train is already moving. The trends are on its way. The 42% of the companies already have started with digitalization, meaning the number of companies which already has some roadmap or concept how to go digital. And why do you need to start today? The tipping point is approaching. By tipping point, we mean the 50% of your segment are already on its way to implement some of the technologies or concepts of digital manufacturing. For the large enterprises, we expect this tipping point in 3 to 5 years. For the smaller ones, it's about 7 to 9 years counting from today, which might seem there is still some time to wait, but it should also be mentioned the implementation itself as soon as you decide to go digital of, for example, ERP system of the complete ERP system is 14 to 16 months. And why going digital? Well, because the tools are ripening, which means some platforms are getting more user-friendly, which means the implementation of such platforms it's easier even for the less experienced users or engineers. It allowed for establishment of so-called lean integrators. The second reason, the application development as such is getting easier. We can see emerging low-code to no-code platforms where even some trained user is able to create his own algorithm using no-code creation. Scalability, of course, the modern cloud application allow for starting small and scaling fast, and we already have some demo applications like our testbed in Prague, where you can see the technology before you even buy it. So it's getting easier to get on the digital train and start with such a journey. How to start with? As soon as you decide you would like to go digital, we strongly recommend to assess your maturity. It's starting with the vision definition. So think about how you would like to see your future business to look like, determine the expected benefit and priorities. As a second step, do an audit, which means discover the digital maturity of each of your process or data storage, because as soon as you know how the target looks like and you know your current state, you are able to draw the path to the factory of the future. So how to measure the maturity? We've got an answer for it on the National Institute for Industry 4.0, which is DigiAudit. It's an independent expert methodology which helps you define the expectation, determine the maturity of processes and technologies, and subsequently identify opportunities for digitalization. The goals of the DigiAudit are to identify the motivations and priorities, map the digital maturity, and identify the areas with the highest potential for digitalization. Why should we measure such a maturity? It's not only helping the companies we are supporting to understand their own level of digitalization and draw some path to get better, to get digital in a comprehensive way, but also it helps to the Czechia, meaning the institutes, independent institutes, which are trying to answer some basic questions about how to help the whole industry in the Czech Republic. We did some research with the Auto Sub, for example, where we can derive some subsequent follow-up steps like workshops or testbed visits, and also some technical solutions responding to the identified gaps with partners and research institutes. How does the DigiAudit look like? We've got three main parts, which is the preparatory one, where we meet and agree on the scope of evaluation, nominate the respondents, and collect some basic information about the company. We've got the screening part, where we visit your business for one day to map the status of the business processes and activities. And as a last step, we conclude the design part, where we analyze what we collected during the visit and present you with some suggestions, benchmark, readiness assessment, and proposal of further steps. For the definition of priorities, which is always the first step when you try to draw some digital roadmap, we use some sort of menu where we collect your opinions, your views about the current, let's call it market trends or market driver, which are faster time to market, quality and traceability, flexibility and planning, and so on. To know what you expect of going digital is the first step to make the transformation working for you. After the first step, we visit your company in person. We do the comprehensive technology independent screening. We will go through your company using this process roadmap and using structured interviews. We will determine the state of digitalization in each of these parts. After we are finished with the information collection, use our unique unique algorithm, which takes into account what you answered about your desired priorities as well as the identified state. We conclude which areas are the one hiding the most promising digitalization opportunities. The output of the screening part is the definition of motivation and priorities. The jointly found and described priorities are used or set into the context of your whole company operation. We are able to describe the desired state, current as well as desired status, and define the opportunities you have based on the collected data. What will the evaluation bring? As I already mentioned, it's a structured view of digitalization in your company, which means you are not going or doing digital blindly. You go digital the right way, which means you innovate the company in a targeted and planned way using modern technologies and structured approach. And we allow you to focus on relevant opportunities because we are sure the digitalization must bring the maximum effect to prove itself, to pay for itself. So we select the solutions that can be developed and sustained in the long term. What do we deliver after we conclude this Digi audit? It's the executive summary. On 2 pages, we will describe the most important facts, opportunities, and practical next steps. We are able to deliver some sort of benchmark because we are monitoring the Czech industrial market in long term, so that we are able to benchmark you against your closed competition. During the assessment itself, we also monitor some basic processes and get them into a structured way to allow for future vision building as a discussion basis. And we've got our well-known opportunities heat map, which allows you to select and identify the most promising activities in your company to be future developed. Status prediction, after we suggest solutions for your promising gaps, we predict the future state after these projects are delivered, and we use also some worldwide documents and other materials to propose you a suitable follow-up steps. The solutions we are proposing, the next step suggestions are, among others, based on our wide ecosystem, which includes academic, national institutes, public space, as well as manufacturing companies and the technology providers. What is our experience from such audits? We help you define the expectation thanks to our structured set of questions. We speak the tribal languages, which is also a benefit which is mainly underestimated. The questioning takes place mainly in the free speech, free narrative form, so we are able to conclude the assessment even with your let's say shop floor workers and basically any member of your staff to assess the digital maturity. We also use the DigiAudit as a place for enlightenment, which means we use the discussions to explain the principles of and benefits of the digital technologies, and we help you discover the opportunities beneath the surface. The guided dialogue reveals existing opportunities and help name them in the, let's say, IT and technological vocabulary. If you would like to try it, we offer some check-only online sample on our website, which is basically the shorter version of the DigiAudit. We will assess the answers you will provide using the same algorithm to create the opportunity heat map, and we will send it to you per email. You can afterwards freely decide whether you want to develop the cooperation further or not. The second benefit from our online DigiAudit is collecting the data about Czech industry, which I would like to present to you. So far we assessed over 300 companies using our online variant. So what did we find out? The motivation to go digital. The top three are people efficiency, regardless of small, medium, or large enterprises. It's the common denominator. Quality and traceability and equipment efficiency. These are the three most mentioned priorities to go digital. The bottom three ones are the sustainability, energy efficiency, and new business models. In the energy efficiency, you can see that the current energy crisis did or is not represented in the longer term assessment. The data from the last year speak, of course, otherwise. When we are talking about automotive, the large enterprises are more advanced in strategy and in the position of digitalization digital transformation manager. Some of them even have such a defined position in their organization. The SMEs in the automotive sector have the possibility to remain organic in terms of cooperation. In the horizontal integration, which considers the material flow through the company, are where the smallest difference is found, and the marketing was not at the top level even for the large manufacturers, which means the marketing is the only activity which is not fully digitized in the automotive world. Remaining by automotive, the biggest differences between SMEs and big players are in the PLM and production supervision, but overall the automotive is the most advanced sector in digitalization. Speaking about mechanical engineering, the differences between small and mediums and large ones are smaller. Even the best in class, which means the most advanced companies in the mechanical engineering, lag behind automotive. And there is a significant difference in the use of enterprise system for services between small and big players. Let me just shortly explain the whole story behind DigiAudit. How did we start it? We started beginning of 2019 as a response to business demand. How to get started with Industry 4.0. So we got inspired by the programs Singapore Economic Development Board, Fraunhofer Austria Research, Politecnico di Milano, University of Warwick, and some others, which we used as a basis to derive our own maturity assessment or assessment of digital maturity, which we developed in the cooperation with the CERC researchers. We use the pilot program as a basis for full assessment of digital maturity in one business. We got the green light to launch the program from the NCP Board of Directors. After the first full assessment, we were able to deliver a series of recommendations, and as a result, or the resulting report was taken over by the internal innovation department and used further for building the digital base of given company. In 2020, we wanted to respond to the business demand where to start with Industry 4.0, which was basically the year we decided to develop the opportunities heat map. Firstly, we developed a questionnaire itself with our partners, technology partners, Siemens, Abra, and Dell Engineering, with a goal to determine and describe the maturity in process areas and find the right direction for technological innovation. So the official digital maturity assessment was developed, and in September 2020 we also started the online version of self-assessment tool, which led to 13 companies which used the online maturity assessment, and we were able to conclude the full assessment in two companies, where we delivered some procedural and organizational measures to gain higher benefits from the current existing technologies. We delivered a recommendation as a basic input for the digital roadmap and recommendations in the field of project management. In 2021, we wanted to respond to the next demand, simplify the digital maturity assessment to allow it to be used in broader user basis. So we developed the so-called Digi Audit. It's this was the first version with this name. We developed it with CERC, Czech Technical University, and Patrick Expert to enable a wider audience to assess digital maturity. Thanks to it, we achieved 31 companies using the online maturity assessment, and we concluded full maturity assessment in 5 companies. We delivered roadmap, a set of recommendations for strategic digitalization. We delivered the recommendations on the management level and implementation of innovation. We did an OE assessment, and we suggested a machine data acquisition project, and we started the implementation of the entire ERP system in one company. In 2022, we had some new challenges to head, which were taking into account new trends and integrating the methodology into the European area. So we called together a broader consortium of the CERC, CTU, Česká spořitelna, and DIH4AI consortium, TNO, Fraunhofer, Polymy, Fortis, which were our European partners by this development. The common objective was to assess the emerging trends. So we developed the methodologies for AI readiness assessment, business plan evaluation with a focus on digitalization and AI, and the digitalization of the finance as such. Thanks to it, the AI readiness assessment methodology was delivered. It divides the answers into 4 levels. It respects 4 dimensions and uses 19 questions to assess the AI readiness of a given company. We did some pilot evaluation on 7 Czech small companies. We found out the prerequisite for use is a high degree of digitalization, which means the target group in the Czech Republic is still pretty small. At the moment, we prepare the pilot evaluation on one German and one Dutch company with our partners TNO and Fraunhofer. As for business plan evaluation, again, we delivered methodology with 4 levels, 9 dimensions, and 31 questions. We developed this one with the contribution of CERC, DIH4AI Consortium, and financial partner. It's the Česká spořitelna. Originally, we focused only on AI and digitalization in the business plan, which we extended at the request of the businesses about the general elements of a business plan to have a full picture about the intent. The feedback was pretty positive, but we also conclude the usage of such methodology requires the appropriate situation in the company, which is creation of new product or service. And again, we are planning pilot evaluation on one German and one Dutch company. And the last methodology we delivered this year was the finance digitalization, 4 levels, 6 dimensions, 6 questions, which was developed exclusively in CERC with the financial partner. So it's Czech product. We did a pilot evaluation on more than 50 Czech companies. We implemented it into our online assessment. So it's a part of the online digital audit, and according to feedback, it provides an easy to understand overview of the basic of digital finances and tips how to level up. So thanks to this cooperation with our European partners, as well as the proven record on the Czech market, we are recommended methodology by the Ministry of Industry and Trade when applying for subsidies. The Ministry of Industry and Trade recognizes the outputs from the online digi audit as a mandatory attachment to the grant application in virtual enterprise and digital enterprise. And as a second achievement, we have proven we are able, or we are compatible with the other European instruments, foremost the digital maturity assessment for DIH customers. So it leads to 268 companies which use the online maturity assessment. We also introduced a new product, phone consultation and digital advisory for 8 companies, and we did a full assessment for SMEs in Czech Republic. So the question would be, will you be our next achievement?